All of us are one medical diagnosis from having our otherwise rather comfortable lives thrown into total disarray and disorganization. And on this edition of Be Inspired, we're going to meet an incredible couple and a growing family that's growing rather quickly to share their story here and how an incredible charity was able to help them overcome adversity. Welcome to Be Inspired. I'm Burt Barron.
And I'm Lisa Anderson.
And thank you again for joining us. Be Inspired is an audio-video podcast where we bring you real stories from folks just like you and I who share stories of love and loss, struggles and perseverance, laughter and tears, and overcoming adversity. And that is exactly what our family who is with us here today has been able to overcome. Let us meet the Izbicki family here. Under the upside-down glasses belong to Rob, who is here. Rob, it is wonderful to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Your wife, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to Be Inspired.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce our two special guests who are here with us?
Sure.
She's incognito.
Yeah, this is Peyton.
Hi, Peyton.
Say hi. And then we have Baby Bob, our new addition, newborn.
It's adorable.
Say hi, baby.
Beautiful family
Thank
you have.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for bringing them on. I think we should do every segment with kids.
Children,
right?
yeah, kind of softens things,
It
right,
does.
right.
Well, thank you for inviting
It
us.
does. Yes.
Rob, would you describe your life as the typical Jersey family before you were met with this diagnosis?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, just work hard and then play hockey and stuff with my buddies, and at night or on the weekends. Volunteer firefighter in Toms River for a handful of years. Go to Devils games, go to the beach, just do whatever we want to do. I mean, basically. So, and then raising a family of our own and everything. So, but yeah, nothing too crazy or outside the box, really.
You're telling us before how you think, you're old now. You're in your 30s, how quickly life goes. And we're like, yeah, it really does.
Well, I bet time just flies. Like
I
after
know, it
I'd say
really does.
25, it's it just goes into fifth gear and it just speeds up. Next thing you know,
I know.
You meet the love of your life, and the next thing you know, you got two kids and you're running around, and it's.
When did this happen?
Yeah.
It's kind of it's just quick.
Yeah, it is. Do you live in Toms River now?
We live in Jackson now.
Oh, okay.
But,
Near me.
Yeah, we're right
Ocean County.
in the middle of Jackson, kind of by the library and stuff. So.
Well, thank you for being a volunteer firefighter, by the way. Not an easy job, especially on days like this when it's 98 degrees outside. And
those were the fun days.
Yeah. Oh.
No, not
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
tough.
I'd rather do it in the middle of winter because it's like wearing a snowsuit. So, but I mean, I did it because I loved it. I was trying to make a career out of it, but
Sure.
for I guess there were just better reasons in the universe, or it was a blessing in disguise why it didn't happen. So
That's where I want to pick up the story with you, Rob, because it seems like you've got the great Jersey family, the girl of your dreams, a terrific family, doing some great things in the community and just enjoying life like all of us should be able to. And then it was over one day or a brief period, everything for you sort of changed, right? Walk us through it if you would.
pretty much, yeah. Because we had started our own business in January 2018. At nights or on the weekends, I'd go out and drive for Lyft and just try to make some extra money. So, which it was doing pretty nice. I mean, so. And then one night I was up around, New Brunswick, and I just got into the area. I just dropped somebody off, and I went and hid on this little side street, which was quiet, right in the middle of Rutgers and all that. And all of a sudden, I started getting this really bad migraine. It was affecting my vision and everything. So I decided to step out of the car for a second just to stretch and everything, because I was in the car for 7-8 hours straight at that point. So I decided to stretch out, and then the next thing I know, I'm waking up in a puddle of my own blood in the middle of the sidewalk. Apparently, I had a seizure, and I just went face first right into the sidewalk and busted my head open. And I woke up several minutes later because it was the middle of the night. Nobody found me at that point. So honestly, this one of the parts I remember is I looked over and saw the car door still open, the car still running, and I don't know, mustered up the strength to get in, somehow get myself back in the car and get help, because being in first response for some years, you kind of, ambulance can be very quick, or it could be a few minutes, and to me, I'm not one to sit around and wait too long, so.
You drove.
I drove. I still had the app open from Lyft, so I saw that I was very close to the hospital. I was actually only a couple blocks away, and it was so I was just like, the hell with it, go up, make a left, make a right, something like that. It was like a couple blocks away. Somehow stumbled into the ER and got the help, but they.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 34. I turned 35 last December. So
a history of headaches or migraines, or was this something you had never felt before?
Migraines had gotten, like, over the last few years, I was having them, and then they were getting significantly worse. And I went to my doctor, and all he really did was he just gave me a bottle of pills and didn't really say nothing about MRIs or CAT scan or nothing like that. And next thing I know, I got way bigger issues on my hands.
So they found out that night in the hospital. Did they do MRIs or X-rays or anything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And at Robert Wood Johnson.
Yeah.
That's where I ended up. That's where they did. They ran CAT scans. They saw something. So then they ran MRIs, and then that's when they really found the tumor, or it was like right in the middle of my brain, a little more towards the right side. And then it was about the size of like a baby carrot, something like that. So, but.
You must have I'm picturing myself in your shoes. That's so scary. Were you alone?
I was alone. I was looking around. It was a ghost town at that point, because it was during the day. It's the middle of the university,
right.
So it's pretty busy. But I don't know how long exactly I was laying there. If it was just 2 minutes or 15, I don't know. But yeah, I guess that whole just survival mode kicked in, and it's just, I'm going to get help one way or the other. So even, but yeah, it's a bit scary when I think about it every once in a while, because it is like, I was just on the turnpike a few minutes before that. So, because I was up around the Jersey City area.
Scary.
But I wanted to get out of there, because I typically did really well in the New Brunswick, Edison area, stuff. There's a lot of people that, with the industrial parks up there. So you get a lot of rides in and out of there. So. But
what was the prognosis?
Prognosis was grade 4. It was a grade 4 glioblastoma, astrocytoma.
And there is no grade 5 in this case.
No, grade
right?
The 4 is the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst of the worst. But one bright side to it is because it's in my head, so I don't have to worry about spreading anywhere else throughout my body. So, which that's what cancer can do. If you had it like in a lower area or something, it can actually spread and then work its way up.
Right.
To
Usually
where,
goes to the brain.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I guess in my case, it's just like, the hell with that. We'll just start this way. So.
It must have been really tough for you to pick up the phone and call Michelle, your wife, because didn't you had a little baby at that time, and was she pregnant?
She was pregnant already. We
That's
didn't
tough.
know she was pregnant yet.
Oh, okay.
We didn't know she was pregnant until then basically the following week after I had the surgery to remove it and everything. I was in rehab, so that's when she figured it out and realized. And so,
It's a blessing right after that.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was kind of like oh crap for a second, because everything, I'm like, how am I gonna take care of a little baby? But in the same sense, it was just like, no, I'm taking care of this kid. I'm gonna take care of Peyton. Both these kids are gonna be all right. I'm gonna see them
That's your
graduate
inspiration.
high school and move on, like be adults. Like I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
It's amazing how our guests that come on here, when they get a really tough diagnosis or something really, immediately, like you just switched from oh no to I'm going to do this, I'm going to see them. They find this inner strength, right?
It's
just
a display of courage.
It really
that
is.
I don't see very often.
No.
And for you, Rob, this had to throw your life upside down.
Oh,
This really had to, when you're presented with a very uncertain future for
Yeah.
yourself, but now you're worried about a wife and a second baby on the way. The future had to look
It's
not good.
Yeah, it's not about me, it's about them, and that's the kind of the tough part, because we had ventured out on our own, started our own business and everything. So it's not like, one of us has been working at some career for a long time and you got all these benefits or something like that. So, but my thing too was right after I'd woken up from the surgery and some of the drugs and stuff wore off, like I just felt like the weight of the world like off my shoulders finally, like all the negative crap that I've been through in years and stuff. And because when I was 17 or 16, I lost my father in a bad, violent, brutal way. So he was actually murdered in cold blood. So,
Gosh, I'm sorry.
so it's, just, my
that's
thing
tough.
is I learned very early on that you keep battling on. You keep moving your feet, you keep trucking, and you keep, you don't let anybody keep you down. So
What about your mom?
my mom, she's a warrior too. I guess that's where I get it. I get it from her too. She's a tough lady, and pretty much anybody, most of my family, either side, my mom or dad's side, it's a
Strong
lot of
people.
tough, strong people, a
Yeah.
lot of blue collar, but
Yeah.
we all take care
Strong
of each other
people,
and
yeah.
try to do what we got to do.
It takes an incredibly special and strong person, Rob, to be able to go through what you've gone through. And you were relentless in this. There was no doubt about it. And the person that you are, this is not for anybody. Anybody else that may have faced the similar things of you might have just not have had the desire to continue and go and fight through. Yeah. But you're cut from a pretty tough cloth. And this is something that was not going to hold you back, just your experiences and your will to live and to create the best life possible for yourself and your family. You just would not be denied. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my thing is just, if you're not happy being here, you're not happy with life or whatever, I mean, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to say a certain word, but it's like, then I guess that's your own problem. That's what you got to deal with, and you got to find a way, but life is, the universe is a crazy thing, and just when, everything's going great and all, smooth sailing, guess what? Now a hurricane comes along, and then what? What are you going to do?
It puts everything immediately into perspective. All the crap that you're worried about,
What's really
from
important
time
to
to time, it just like zeroes in on that. Did your family and friends rally around you? Rob?
Family support's been great. Some close friends at first were pretty supportive, and then it's been, it's kind of funny, like ever since I got out of rehab, it's been tough to see people, or people, like, it's, I don't know, I guess it's hard on some of them because we've known each other for so long. I mean, since we were young kids and young in high school and everything, so I guess it's kind of like shocking, like, because a couple people did come by the hospital and stuff like that, and I could see the look in their face, like
People don't know what to say, and they don't know how to, it's scary for them.
Exactly.
It's scary. It's a scary diagnosis.
It's freaky, and then when you see, I mean, 1 minute I'm running through burning buildings and flying all over the place, driving 90 miles an hour down the parkway, and then next thing you know, you're laid up in a hospital bed, and nobody knows what's about to happen next. But that was the one thing. The doctors never really gave me a like time frame or anything like that. They didn't say like, oh, you got 6 months or a year to live or anything like that. Like my one doctor would just look me right in the eyes and he was like, there's no reason why you can't live another 20, 25,
Good.
30 years, whatever. Like, the way
If only
it's all
every
about taking care
doctor
of
could
yourself.
say that, right? That's what you want to hear.
Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely uplifting because when they tell you it's your tumor's getting sent out for biopsy and all this stuff, and we never even thought about that part. We were just like, oh, okay, you got to get this thing out of your head
It's hard
and
to
whatever,
process,
And then once one of the doctors said something about cancer and all that, that's when me and her were just like, oh, cool. That's when I guess the reality of it hit hard. That it was like, okay, this is way worse than what we thought. So
When we come back on this edition of the Be Inspired podcast, we'll talk about the role that a very special charity played in helping the Izbicki family get back on their feet and where they are today. That's next on Be Inspired.
Freestyle Marketing. For all of your marketing and promotional needs, follow or direct message Wendy for great ideas and first-class customer service. Contact Wendy at freestylemarketing.com.
Moving is difficult. At Lowe's, it doesn't have to be. For all of your residential and commercial needs in Central New Jersey, contact Lowe's Moving Service at 732-775-4118. That's Lowe's.
IgA Nephropathy Foundation of America is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to finding a cure for IgA kidney disease. If you or someone you know was recently diagnosed, please visit IGAN.org or contact 732-770-7377.
Also, thanks to Chain Gang Pro Performance Clothing, a new local company focused on providing activewear for your active moments. Check out their story and line of products at chaingangpro.com or follow their journey on Instagram or Facebook by searching Chain Gang Pro. We are back on Be Inspired with the Izbicki family who are here. We're going to talk about an incredible charity that has really made an incredible difference in their lives. First, Michelle, we got Rob's story in the previous segment, and what a story it is. For you as the wife of someone who receives this just awful diagnosis, what has been going through your mind, and what's the key for you being so strong and being able as a supporter to keep this family moving forward?
What's going through my head? Basically, where am I going to go? Where's my future going to be? Because I have 2 small children that I have to take care of and provide for. So that's my biggest issue is, aside from his diagnosis and taking care of him, is figuring out how to keep it all together and where to move forward, how to move forward. But his mom is great in supporting us. She's constantly there whenever we need, babysitter or, mostly just watching the kids and just, mental health support. My mom is great too. I mean, we have a lot of good family and friends that are constantly, just a really big support system and people you can truly rely on, not people who just say, if you need anything, let me know, because then when you reach out, they're just not around,
Just
it's
being nice, but not actually.
It's almost like they say it to make themselves feel better, but anyway.
It's one thing to say, it's another to bring
Yeah.
over a meal,
But,
dinner
yeah,
at
true.
night. Yeah.
But
Or just babysit a few
aside from
hours.
that,
Right.
there's
Sure.
we have so many great people in our life right now that have made this experience way less stressful than it has to be or could have been.
And Rob, back to your mom. She had reached out to a charity that has provided some help and provided some support. Talk about the charity and what they've been able to do for your family.
Well, the charity is called Miracle Express, and I wasn't even there. I was in the hospital when they actually made Christmas happen. Basically?
Yeah, so he had his radiation started on December 19th, and then the morning of December 20th, he had a grand mal seizure that lasted for about 25 minutes. So I had to get him to the hospital and everything. And then fast forward 5 days later on Christmas, his mom was like, "Oh, you got to stay here for Christmas and everything," because I was going to stay at my house. And she totally got me, because when I went in the house, it was like 7 in the morning or something, and I was talking with everybody, trying to make light of the situation because he wasn't there, didn't know what the day was going to be like, but all of a sudden there's a knock on the door and everyone just comes walking in like a whole. It's almost like, when you see the clown cars, there's just like people just kept coming in and coming in, and they just had,
Bearing
presents.
gifts.
Yeah, just presents,
nice.
toys for Peyton and things for the new baby. It was really overwhelming. It was amazing. It was truly amazing. And when the community gets together for a good cause, it's like they can do so much good.
That makes Christmas so much
Yeah,
better,
that
doesn't
Sure,
it?
and
That's
it's a group
Charlie
that-
Brown.
Sure, it's a group
Definitely,
that
yeah.
Lisa and I really believe in their
absolutely,
mission. And how
Yeah,
bad did it
great.
get? Were you guys close to maybe being homeless or facing
Oh, my
some real
goodness.
financial troubles?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I
absolutely.
can't work now, and disability doesn't give me much. It doesn't cover the bills, basically.
Definitely not,
So.
That's unfortunate.
Well,
Yeah, and then having to go. Well, the thing too is having to go through chemo and radiation and all that. Like you can't work on that stuff. You
No.
can barely even function.
Right.
So,
Yeah, well, they really helped out. They covered 6.5 months of our rent. That was such peace of mind, because obviously if we have no place to go, then what? The number one thing is having a home.
It's your home.
Yeah.
Right.
So everything else, is
Yeah.
you can figure that out. But
Right.
rent and having to take him back and forth to an hour away for treatment, taking care of Peyton, being pregnant. So that took a load of stress off.
Yeah.
For
Big weight off your back. Yeah,
Seriously.
sure. And you
That,
can
and I'm so
concentrate
grateful
on-
for that.
Yeah, on
So
the other
grateful.
things, because it's a scary thought of
Oh,
losing your
definitely.
home and having to pack up, and
Yeah.
the stress alone, that's not good for you. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you laid there many days saying,
my
what am I going to
goodness.
do, and
Yeah.
how am I going to pay the rent? And was that pregnancy planned, or it was a little
no,
bit
it
of
was
a surprise?
It was, I found out literally a week before he ended up in the hospital. I found out, so I was really excited about it and everything.
The
and
best
then
and the
when
worst.
when that happened, I was kind of just like
Sure.
I didn't know what to do. I had to proceed with myself. I just was like blown away.
All these emotions going through your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with your fight, Miracle Express was actually able to provide something that I think everyone who was in a fight similar to your family's, just a chance to be a couple, just a chance to be a husband and wife. And they did something really special for you as a couple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we never really got a honeymoon.
No,
so if you want.
So yeah, we spent the night at Breakers on the ocean. It was amazing. I mean, we watched the sun set and rise from the room, and all you see is the ocean and the sun.
It's beautiful.
It's
Nothing
amazing,
like it.
yeah. And the
Yeah,
dinner
that's
was
beautiful.
amazing. I got lobster. He had steak. It was delicious.
Of course you should.
I
Order
had,
the
you know,
lobster,
the
always.
soup and just it was oh my god. And we just sat there and just talked and listened to the music, the piano. It was like really. It was a magical night.
Definitely a night we needed.
Yeah.
And then the one funny part too is we first get in the room, we're like settling in, and then she just turns, looks at me, and she's like, "What'd be perfect right now?" It's like a thing of chocolate covered strawberries, and not even 10 seconds.
Yeah,
it's
literally,
like knock,
knock on the door,
and
just delivered.
there
It was
you go.
so weird. I'm
Chocolate
like,
covered strawberries.
yeah,
Boy, should
yeah.
have said, you know what would be good? A car.
yeah, right.
Yeah, right?
It was so strange the way it happened though, because I was like all about the chocolate covered strawberries, and all of a sudden they came up and they're like, "Oh, here you go," and I'm like,
Wow,
"What?"
that's funny. And then you
Yeah.
feel like a couple again, and
Oh yeah.
it's those little things
Definitely,
that
yeah.
mean so much. Like it gets you through the
For
next month of
sure.
treatments because
Oh my gosh.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us worry and say every day, thank God, for our health. But do we really realize, like, thank God for our health? Because it's one thing to think it, but then, there's so many of our guests' stories that just, it's a reality for them. And
Yeah.
it just gets you, right here. Like your
Definitely.
entire world changes in one sentence.
Oh my
And
God,
especially
yeah.
you being the caregiver of the family and one baby on the way and a daughter. It's just getting through those, rough times and looking at the both of you like you're grateful for this one night away. That's
Oh, definitely.
very,
yeah,
I'm grateful for all the help that we have received. And actually, in fact, that was one of the first things I wanted to say was thank you for everything to Miracle Express for just providing a nice holiday and
it's wonderful.
taking the stress away. It just. I can't even tell you, like, we don't have to worry about buying diapers or wipes or, they hooked us up with the baby pantry and there's so many resources. If I can say one thing to other people listening, that if you have resources, use them. Use the resources. They're there for a reason. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Don't be ashamed to accept the help.
Don't be ashamed to look.
That
'Cause
too,
there's
yeah.
plenty of resources in this
I'm glad
state.
you said that because there are a lot of people that have this sense of shame about going for help. And I'm glad you
they
said
don't
that.
like asking for help.
There's
It's
well,
hard.
years
It's
ago,
really
I think
hard.
it had a stigma about it, but now middle class need help.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
'Cause it's dwindling
truly,
away.
it's a
That's-
whole change scenario. It's life is tough, and it just takes one illness or one
Yeah.
loss of a job, and
That's it.
you find yourself
Blown
floundering
engine,
and saying,
like all kinds of.
right,
I've been in a
anything
position
can happen.
where
Sure.
I had like a
Yeah.
truck like die on me or something.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, they're
Sets
trying
you
to take
back.
so much money out of you, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be out on the street. And, oh, it's not my problem. Oh, okay,
So, yeah.
cool. Like. What are you supposed to do then? Like, and I had a job. I was working I was working 80 hours a week on pools and spas and stuff. But yeah, it's like people in this country. It's like a weakness if you ask for help or something. When,
Shouldn't be.
When it's
Yeah.
like all you need is that little bit of help, and then guess what? Now I'm like 10 times stronger than what I
Yeah,
was.
definitely.
Miracle Express heard your words, and
Yeah.
that was awesome.
That was hard to
yeah.
film that interview, that video for the. It was hard for me. It was a
Yeah.
long day. We were in, we had an appointment for him up north and everything. We got back and I was just I felt so. I don't know. I was just. I didn't feel good about it. You know what I mean? But in the video, I think I said that you shouldn't be ashamed to ask for help, even though I was having a hard time with it in the moment.
Good. I'm glad you
You
got
know?
the help.
Yeah,
Good.
me too.
Yeah.
As
So
we wrap up,
grateful.
Rob, there was probably a time in your life where maybe you weren't thinking long term, but now you're thinking about walking someone down the aisle someday. How do you feel now, and how does
More
it look
money.
how does it look for you long term?
I feel great. I don't see why everything looks pretty good to me. I mean, one way or the other, stay positive, just keep battling, keep fighting the daily struggles, especially the long-term struggles. Yeah, I didn't even think about walking her down the aisle and all.
We're talking about how fast life goes. And,
Well,
Yeah, she's already gonna be 2. So,
yeah, she's gonna be 2 in a couple of weeks. So it
Time for that
but
third job.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, when I was single and before I ever met Michelle, I never really put too much long-term thought into things. Maybe a year or 2, but nothing, like I need to now. So it definitely has made me grow up a bit and realize, like, yeah, how are things going to look 5, 10, 15 years down the road, and what do we want to have accomplished by then, or where do we want to be, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But,
everybody worries about that, but you know how precious it is. How are you feeling these days?
I mean, I had a seizure 2 days ago, so that didn't feel too good. I was exhausted all day yesterday, but
That'll
today I
bring it
woke
on.
up all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but yesterday was, get some rest, eat and stuff. Got a little sunburn because I was trying to grill and
It's good.
just trying to do what
Yeah.
I can to just not let it bring me down and not
Right.
lay around and be depressed or
Just-
whatever.
yeah.
Just
Let
like,
all the other stuff go. Just take care of your health.
you know,
I mean, because if you get really tired, and that can bring it on. And
definitely.
Yeah,
just-
exactly.
yeah.
You keep dwelling on the
Yeah.
bad stuff, and you're not going to get anywhere. So, and like Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going. So,
Right, the amazing Izbicki family. Thank you. It was great meeting you and your
Thank
entire
you.
family, and
Yes.
I am blown away by your courage and thank you so much for sharing your story with us here today, and continued success and improved health to you too. So thank you so much for being here.
thank you for having
Thank
us.
you all.
and
thank
take
you.
care of
Thank
those
you.
adorable kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Too. Where are they,
definitely.
by the way?
I
Where'd they
think-
go?
I think somebody's playing with
Yeah,
them.
they're taking care
Take a
of
break.
them.
Shh.
They're taking over the show here. So,
All right, thank you again. I'm Bert Barron,
And I'm Lisa Anderson.
and thank you for watching Be Inspired.
Next on Be Inspired.
Remember the doctor telling me the baby had no heartbeat. I was floored. You see your child come out and she's lifeless. Shortly thereafter, that's where everything had really gone wrong. I stopped breathing. Had no idea I even died the first time.
Died the first time.
Yes.
Next episode on Be Inspired.
Be Inspired podcast, directed by Rod Weber. Production assistant, Carlo Anthony. Post-production editor, Rebecca Gruber. Be Inspired, with your hosts, Lisa Anderson and Bert Barron. Co-producers, Lisa Anderson and Erwin Sternberg. Executive producers, Rod Weber and Sean M. Sternberg. Created and produced by Michael R. Doyle.